I am on. Okay, welcome you guys. Let me turn on my big screen so that I can see myself. Okay, and while I'm doing that, I hope that you guys are doing well today. Okay, yeah, I hope that all is good in your neighborhood. Yeah, we've been having some glitches, y'all, but I've been doing my best. Your girl has been doing her best to kind of stay above the curve and kind of work out the kinks and not let things get to you because like they say, shit's gonna happen. Okay, thank you for the hearts, whoever that is, you guys, and welcome. Okay, so yeah, you guys, we are back on, and just give you guys a little bit of an update. YouTube is still glitching with me when I do live streams. Okay, for whatever reason, it's like my YouTube studio is all jacked up. It's not showing my video, so it looks like they're being erased or deleted. But I found a workaround to find the actual video so that I could create a thumbnail and stuff. And I'm hoping that YouTube will fix the glitch as soon as possible because it's just looking real crazy. And it's very difficult to get in contact with a real live person. Okay, I'm like, yo, I'm a part of the partner program. What's up? Can I get a little help? Okay. But in the meantime, in between time, you guys, we're just gonna keep it moving. Hopefully everything goes well. Okay. Hopefully, the YouTube does well and I don't have any unforeseen glitches or anything like that. Okay. So some of you guys may have found that you yourself are dealing with a lot of glitches, dealing with a lot of technical difficulties and things of that nature, where you are being forced to stretch your creative muscle to find ways to adapt, to find ways to be flexible, to find ways to pivot. Okay, a lot of you guys may be in that season as well. Okay, because it will definitely do you good. Okay, learning options, learning that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and learning how to stay on course and not give up, not have a meltdown. Okay, that's what leaders, and that's what stars are made of. Okay, and that is part of my collective. Okay, you guys are overcomers, you guys are stars. Okay, when the going gets tough, you don't fall down and lean over and forget about it. Okay, you get back up, you dust your shoulders off, and you try again and you make it work. Okay, so yeah, so having said that, you guys, welcome to my channel, y'all. Okay, and I want to thank you guys in advance for your likes, your shares, and your subscribes. Okay, also I thank you guys for those of you guys who are continuing to purchase readings with your girl. Okay, it is very much so appreciated. I very much so appreciate the support, and I love doing what I do and helping you guys with some of the issues and concerns that you have. Okay, on the spiritual tip, and you guys trusting me with your energy to find the answers that you seek. Okay, so thank you guys for that. Also, shout out to those of you guys who are making your donations to your girl on my business website. I appreciate that very much as well. Okay, it lets me know that I am appreciated. It lets me know that my work is not in vain, although I know that it is not. Okay, I have so many of you guys, my lovely supporters, who let me know, whether you let me know in the comments section or via email or on the incognito tip. Okay, you guys let me know, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Okay, so you guys are keeping your girl booked and busy. Okay, in addition to my offline clients and customers. Okay, I'm getting more and more, and I'm learning how to expand more and then stretch myself more. Okay, the sacred text says, to whom much is given, much is required. So this is a caveat for all of you guys out there who are part of my collective, and spirit is getting ready to bless you abundantly. Okay, make sure that you also ask for the stamina, the energy, the time. Okay, and for some of you guys, if you need a little help to manage all of the blessings that are about to be bestowed upon you. Okay, once you get the blessings, you can't fumble it. You got to make sure that you're stretched and you are well prepared to handle what is being given to you. Okay, so that's a caveat for somebody. Okay, all right, so having said that, you guys, let's just get into it. So today's collective reading, you guys, is going to be on the topic of what are people noticing about you. Okay, because dear one, I'm hearing from spirit that you guys have really made some changes. Okay, whether it be changes that people like and they're inspired by, and they're like, ooh, look at collective, they're doing this, they're doing that. I think I can do that too. I'm inspired, I'm motivated. Or whether it be people, dear one, noticing things about you where, they got their nose all turned up, and they sucking their teeth, and, they just envious, the green-eyed monster is popping out. And, they hate the fact that, you flexing and you're doing this or you're doing that, okay? Whatever the case may be, dear one, people are noticing you, okay? So we're going to tap into spirit, you guys, and we're going to find out what are some of the things, dear one, that people are noticing about you, okay? Whether you consider it to be good, whether you consider it to be a compliment, or whether you consider it to be something where, hell, you still know you got it going on, and, whether they like it or not, that's their problem, not yours, okay? Yeah, so the first card we have, you guys, is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups, okay? So I'm hearing from Spirit, dear one, right off the bat, people are noticing that you guys are the type of person where you may currently be working on something where you're getting it off the ground, okay? So it's in that seed form, that beginning stage, okay? And people are seeing that you're really nurturing this thing, okay? You may be keeping it close to your heart, okay? I'm also hearing, that sacred text, do not despise humble beginnings. So although people may be noticing that you're working on something, it has a lot of potential, but it hasn't yet blossomed and bloomed into something that it is soon going to be. People know that if you keep working, that if you do not give up, that if you do not quit, that it's just a matter of time, dear one, before, whatever that thing that you're working on is going to really be successful, okay? And it's going to bring you guys a lot of fulfillment, okay? It's going to bring you guys a lot of success, okay? A lot of emotional fulfillment. And it's also going to, bring a lot of other people that you introduce this thing to. It's going to bring them a lot of emotional fulfillment. It's going to answer some, some of their problems, some of their issues. You're going to provide service to somebody. So there's something that you're working on in the beginning stages, and people are noticing that you're really, really focused on that thing, okay? So you guys are avoiding all types of distractions and things of that nature, yeah? On the flip side, dear one, I'm also hearing from Spirit that people are noticing that you guys are beginning to turn down a lot of people, any individual that steps to you guys, and it's like, from the start, from the jump, that they don't have what you're working with, okay? From the start that, they just want to play with you. They want to play with your emotions, they just want to give you the minimum, the bare basics. And you're like, nah, you need to bring your weight up, partner. Okay, get your weight up when you step to me. I don't want that, okay? So a lot of people are noticing that you guys are not settling for less. You're not settling for crumbs, people that want to breadcrumb you, people that want to offer you fake love, people that want to say, well, you've been dealing with it. You've been accepting this, why you got your expectations so high? You need to bring that down. Why you so selfish? Why you so inconsiderate? Why can't you accept that this is the only thing that I can offer here is this raggedy ass cup with a fish in it? You're like, nah, you need to take your ass on somewhere, partner, and get with somebody that, they will find that to be sufficient, because that's not what it is over here, okay? This ain't that, okay? Come through, Spirit. So a lot of people are noticing that when it comes to, small offers, or people, lowballing you, expecting you to have less, and that, you're supposed to just be thankful and grateful that someone is offering you this, even though it's the bare minimum, okay? Whether that's all the person has, or whether that's all that they're willing to give, you're like, nah, you guys have set your sights higher, okay? And this matters not if it's, for some of you guys, this could relate to a relationship, partnership of some sort, okay? This could relate to, I'm hearing, giving a person another chance, okay, to, show that, they've worked on themselves and that they have evolved. It's like, nah, you're not going to use me as no test dummy. You're not going to come back around and say, okay, let's try this again and let's see if I, have what it takes to, treat collective right. Or let's see if I have what it takes to, make sure that I can get collective what she or what he needs. Nah, you're not allowing nobody to, treat you like you some type of test bunny. It's like, okay, go do your trial run somewhere else, partner, and get it together before you even dare to try to step to me, okay? So I'm definitely hearing that people are noticing this about you guys, okay? Stock value rising, and so are your expectations. And this is a very beautiful thing, except for those, that still want to lowball you, that still want to play games with you, play those Svengali mind games, okay? and people that want to try to shame you, dear one. They want to try to shame you and make you feel as though, something is wrong with you because you expect more, because you are you are requiring more of people because you're requiring more of yourself. Okay, come through, spirit. So people are noticing this about you, dear one. Okay. Next message we have is from the card, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Come through, spirit. So I'm hearing right off the bat, dear one, people are noticing that you guys, you have made some type of level up, okay? You got some type of money, okay? You guys may have gotten a promotion. You may have, landed on some type of opportunity, okay, that is proving to be very beneficial for you guys in terms of, your wealth, okay, your abundance, okay, your health, your peace of mind. Things are now starting to go right for you, whereas before, people had noticed that when it came to you guys, a lot of you guys, you had to deal with a very unnecessary amount of struggle. Almost as like people looking at you like, damn, Lisa was telling me the other day that she was going through this and going through that, and then 2-3 weeks later, I thought everything's cool. Damn, she going through something else, okay? So people, dear one, they had noticed that, before, you used to be the type of person where people would notice that you always seem to have been going through some type of struggle, some type of downfall, okay? Some type of sabotage, okay? Get a job, lose a job, your friends are cool, your friends are backstabbers, okay? People just, were like, damn, what's going on with collective? But now, dear one, you guys are, I'm hearing you're in your winning season, okay? Come through, spirit. I'm also hearing that you guys are in some type of rags to riches type of season now, okay? On your own level, okay? Because spirit is saying, hey, there's levels to this shit, okay? So for some of you guys, your rags to riches could be from, moving out of your mama's house to moving into your own place, okay? Or for some of you guys, moving out of, hotels and moving out of, living in your vehicle to moving into your own 1-bedroom apartment. Now, to another person, they may be like, oh, 1 bedroom, that ain't nothing. I got this, I got that. I got a 4-bedroom. Bitch, ain't nobody ask you all that, okay? And perhaps maybe you didn't have to go through half of the things that collective had to go through, so shut your mouth. Ain't nobody competing, ho. Be quiet, okay? Get over there and hush, okay? Yeah. But for you, dear one, depending on the level of warfare that you guys have come up against, the lack of support, family support, friendship support, the number of betrayals and things of that nature that you guys have had to go through, the abuse, the harassment, the rejection, the abandonment, all of that, and yet you guys are still standing. Your rags to riches, honey, is going from, maybe couch hopping to having your own place with your name on it, okay? Your name is on the lease, okay? Yeah, your name is on the deed, on that condo, on that townhouse, on that home, baby. And now you ain't got to worry nobody putting your ass out because you do what you want to do, okay? Yeah, you've earned that thing. You work for that thing, okay? You pay the cost to be the boss, okay? Come through, spirit. So I'm hearing, there's levels to this shit. But now, dear one, compared to how you used to be, because I'm definitely hearing, down and out, okay? I'm hearing, I'm hearing like there. I'm hearing like, insurmountable obstacles and struggles, 3 steps forward, 4 or 5 steps back. Now people, dear one, they're noticing that, you guys seem to be leveling out in terms of having some type of security or stability that seems to be more stable now than it was before. Okay. Yeah. So, this for a lot of you guys, this could be the first job that you may have had where you just made it past that 2-year mark. And, in the past, you maybe never could get to that 2-year anniversary on a job before someone would get on your damn nerves and you would quit, or before someone would, workplace mob and harass your ass out of the job, or, before, they would down and lay people off, or something would happen and you would be like, damn, why can't I get stability? Why can't I find something that is really going to help me to get on my feet and stay on my feet? Okay, well now, dear one, I'm hearing from spirit, you guys are in the season now where your wheel of fortune has come through. And for a lot of you guys, people are noticing that again, for some of you guys, it may be a really big thing because of what you've gone through and where you've come from. But for others, dear one, they're like, okay, yeah, it's small, it's humble, page of cups. It's in the beginning stages. It's humble, but at least they're doing that thing, at least, JoJo, at least JoJo doing that thing. Okay. So they're acknowledging that, your luck is turning, your wheel of fortune is turning upright. And a lot of things that, were once upon a time denied to you, you guys are now getting those things. Okay. So that's a very beautiful thing. Spirit says, keep your vibration high, dear one. And a lot of you guys would benefit from doing like a gratitude log. Okay. The more things that you get blessed with are the more things that you should be grateful for, so that more can come to you. Okay. That's a spiritual hack. Okay. So work on that if you guys are not doing that already. Okay. You can say it out loud verbally as a part of like your prayer meditation, or you can write about it and journal about it. Okay. But make sure that each day, you guys, you're giving thanks about something that you have, something that you've overcome. It's also a reminder, that you're supported and you're loved, even when at the time when you're going through something, it seems as though you're not going to make it out. But when you look back at other situations, you realize that, hey, if Spirit brought me this far, he's going to continue to bring me further. He's not going to leave me this far to where I am now and just leave me. Okay. So that's that faith walk that's going to help you guys in your winning season. Okay. Is what I'm hearing from Spirit. Okay. Because some of you guys, this winning season is very, very new to you. Okay. Because unfortunately you've been through so much struggle. Okay. But people are noticing that about you. Okay. Come through, Spirit. So yeah, the next card we have, you guys, is the devil. I say the devil, y'all. Okay. We got the devil in reverse, yeah. So people are noticing, dear one, that when it comes to vices and old behavior patterns, for some of you guys, the way you used to think, your mentality. Okay. People are noticing that you guys have really changed. So for some of you guys, this could mean that maybe once upon a time you had some type of addiction that you were really, really battling with. Okay. This thing really really had you in a grip. Okay. But now you guys, you're in your sobriety. Now you guys are stronger. For some of you guys, this grip could have represented a relationship that was very toxic. And although you tried so very, very hard to get away from that person, to get away from that situation, you just couldn't seem to do it. I'm hearing, you go back, you leave, you go back, you leave, or, you think on and they come back, and then it's a problem, it's an issue. There was a lot of yo-yo, up and down, back and forth. Okay. And people were noticing this about you, that, for whatever reason, dear one, there were a lot of people that when it came to you, they just could not seem to take no for an answer. They noticed about you that when it came to you, dear one, you guys may have some type of, I'm hearing like addictive personality. So it's like, the highs are highs and the lows are low. And when you try something, you're going to go all in. So you have to really be careful about what you get involved in. Okay. And who you get involved with. Okay. For some of you guys, you already know, because you have an addictive personality and you may have come from a background where, there's alcoholism or drug abuse and things of that nature in your family. Okay. That you better not, take that first puff and try to pass, or, that's going to be an issue for you, because you're not going to be able to turn that loose. Okay. Yeah. They know you better not even try. You might want to leave the drinks alone. Okay. You might want to leave the party favors alone. Okay. Because that thing might get a grip on you. Okay. Because there's something about your personality. It's something about, your background and your DNA. Okay. People also know that, you better steer clear, from the players. You better steer clear from the mud ducks and the gutter rats. Okay. You better steer clear from those people that, they present themselves to be, lovers, but they really wolves in sheep's clothing, because you gonna get caught up. Okay. Because that's the type of energy that you exude, and the type of background that you come from. Is like people that are unhinged, people that are 50 shades of fucked up. Come through, Spirit. Pardon me, you two. People that have got issues, people that don't understand the word no, people that can't take the L and keep it moving. They seem to be attracted to you guys, like flies to shit. Okay. People have noticed that about you guys, but people have also noticed that in this season, You guys have done a lot of shadow work, okay, on yourself. So you guys have been able to raise your vibration, and that means that you're not operating out of the blind spots anymore like you used to. So when you see that raggedy ass player trying to step to you, and he swearing up and down that he or she that they ready for a relationship or they single, and you could just look at their energy and tell that they already attached, okay, they already in a relationship. Some of them they already married, some of them they 2, 3, 4, 5 baby mamas or situations or relationships, okay, they got a whole bunch of stuff going on, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna be a part of that, okay. You guys can already see, because you've done so much shadow work, you've done so much work on yourself, that it's very, very difficult in this season, dear one, for people to pull the wool over your eyes, okay. So people are noticing that about you, okay. They're like, yeah, this one right here, they not boo boo the food no more. This one right here, they've gone through a lot, okay, and they've come out on the other side stronger and wiser. So they're not gonna play the okie dokie games, okay. They're not gonna be your boo boo the food. It's not going down that way. So people are noticing this about you guys, and how you show up in the world, okay, how you show up in relationships, how you guys are just people notice that it's no thing for you guys to walk alone, to do your own thing. I'm hearing from spirit, you're very independent, you're very self-sufficient. It ain't no thing for you guys to take yourself out to lunch, okay. Yeah, to take yourself out on an excursion out of town, okay. Take yourself to a weekend trip to Vegas, or Cancun, or some of you guys, you bold enough to travel to another part of the country, okay. I done booked a trip to Brazil, and I'm gonna go by my damn self, okay, because I got the money, I got the time, and everybody else act like they don't want to do it, and they hemming and hawing. So I'm not gonna let nobody ruin my good time, okay. So people are noticing that you guys have made a lot of changes, okay, that is definitely benefiting you. And as it could be people, environments, relationships, come through spirit with that confirmation, we know it to be true. Or old belief systems, you guys, or patterns or behaviors. They're noticing that you guys you have released yourself from that. You guys have broken some cycles, you've broken some curses, okay, and you have elevated, okay. People have noticed that about you. I'm also hearing people notice they're noticing that something about you, something about your aura. You guys definitely have a story to tell, but you also know that, not everybody is privy to that information, because some people, they would take your information and they would try to judge or persecute you or use it against you, as opposed to looking at it and saying, hey, wow, collective is an overcomer. Wow, this story has so encouraged me. It is so, I'm hyped up now. I know that if collective can do it, I can do it, because damn, the stuff she went through, I haven't gone through half of that. The stuff that JoJo went through, damn, that would have had me in a crazy house. That would have had me, not knowing my first from my last name. Hell, if JoJo could make it after all of that he'd been through, hell, I know I can make it. Yeah. So, this is a very, very beautiful thing, dear one, that people are noticing about you, okay? Also, you guys, I see a lot of you beautiful people in the comment section, and I'm going to say hi to the chat after the read, you guys, okay? So you can continue to drop your messages and everything, and please know that I'm not ignoring you. It's just that your girl got attention deficit, right? So when I'm in the ethers, I just like to focus so that I can get the downloads to you guys, okay? And then after the chat, I'm going to say what's up to you, okay? All right. Yeah. So what else, Spirit? Okay. So yeah, we have the Four of Swords. We have the Four of Swords. Okay. So I'm hearing from Spirit right off the bat, dear one. People are noticing that, you guys have changed. You've changed your environment. You've changed some habits where, before you may have been really an anxious type of person. You used to really allow or let things get to you. You used to allow or let people push your buttons, You used to see, you used to have this type of fear about you, like, oh my God, when is this shoe gonna drop, okay? Because something is always happening. As soon as something go right, damn, before I get used to it, something is about to go wrong. So a lot of you guys used to walk around like, you were on eggshells, very, very fidgety, okay? You know, because a lot of people in your life, dear one, I'm hearing from spirit, you know, early on, they dropped the ball in your life, okay? In some way, shape, or form, they let you down, or they betrayed you, or, you know, you thought that you really had a good partner, or you really had this, you know, high vibrational relationship or friendship that you worked really hard on, you know, only to realize that, hell, at the end of the day, you was the only one working hard. Like, what the hell? The other person was just, you know, gleaning off of, you know, what you had to offer. So a lot of you guys, dear one, I'm hearing from spirit, you know, your heart may have been stung, you know, perhaps one time too many. And I'm definitely hearing from spirit, you know, you guys been through a lot of shit, more than your fair share of what you should have been, you know, had to go through, okay, that comes with the average, you know, life struggles and situations because of the world that we live in. You guys have had an enormous amount of just struggle and shit, okay? And a lot of it was burdens, was things that were projected onto you that wasn't your fault and that wasn't yours to carry. But because of simply who you are and because of the type of people that you were around, you know, they used you, you know, they used your kindness, they use your high vibration, they use your intellect, your love, your creativity, your passion, your empathy against you. And so, you know, but people are noticing, dear one, that, you know, you're not as fidgety, you're not as anxious, okay? You're not as, you know, trepidatious as you used to be, you know, where you're like, oh, woe is me. Oh, you know, jump, you know, get away from me. You know, you're not like that like you used to be. A lot of you guys, you're coming back outside, okay? You're coming back online, as it were. You know, online as in, you know, literally some of y'all coming back online. You know, you may have taken a break from social media, okay? You got tired of the cyber roaches. You know, I say they roaches, they lurk now. Yeah, you may have gotten tired of the trolls, and you may have gotten tired of this or that. But, you know, you rested up and you're ready to get back in the game, okay? You're ready to get back in the ring and keep on swinging, okay? And people are noticing this about you guys. And they're also noticing a different attitude, a different change about you, where now, again, I'm hearing you guys are practicing more of the faith walk. You're walking more in faith rather than fear. And so now they're saying, like, you know, you got this glow about you. You know, you just, you're a lot more easygoing, you know. You're a lot more, you know, just laid back, a lot more relaxed, okay? Now you tend to, you know, believe more that, hey, you know, there are more people that love me and support me, more people that are for me than there are against me. And you guys are, you know, your whole attitude has shifted and changed simply because you guys have realized that, you know, it wasn't that there was anything wrong with you, as it was that you just were around the wrong people. You know, you were not around your vibe, you know, your vibe tribe. You were not around, you know, the right environment that would encourage you, lift you up, and support you. You know, you guys were surrounded by a pack of goddamn wolves. So, you know, you kind of had this type of perspective that, damn, you know, if I can't trust these mofos, who can I trust? And, you know, you guys started thinking that the whole world and everybody around you was cutthroat. And now you're realizing that that's not the case, okay? It was just a circle. It was just the environment that you were around. So now people are noticing that you're a lot more chill. You're a lot more, you know, laid back, okay? Yeah, I'm hearing that old school song, let's chill, baby. Yeah, some of you guys, you know, you might find yourself walking around your home just, you know, yodeling and, you know, singing. Thank you for that gift, beautiful one. I just saw that out the corner of my eyes. Thank you so much, okay? People are noticing you guys, you know, you got a different walk. You got a different pep in your step, okay? You guys could be at home cleaning and washing the dishes, and all of a sudden you'll break out in the song, you know? It's like your whole vibe, your whole energy is shifting, and people are noticing that about you. Now, some people, dear one, they get nervous now because they like, oh, what is all these changes that Lisa is going through? You know, why they so happy? What's going on with them? Who making them smile? Or they got a man, or they got a woman? What's going on with them? Oh, they got a raise, they got a promotion, oh, they done moved into a new home, oh, they got a new whip, they got a new ride. What's going on with them? Okay, so now, dear one, you got a lot of people in your business because, you know, a lot of you guys may have become more exclusive, where it's like, hey, you know, you'll know on a need to know basis. Other than that, you know, mind your business, just mind your business, right? And so now, the more that you guys have pulled back your energy, now you are exuding this type of mystique about you. And people are like, oh, what's going on? I see something different. I see a glow. I see some different, something different about, collective. And so, if they can't figure it out because you guys are wearing your heart, you're no longer wearing your heart on your sleeve. You're keeping things close to your chest. Thank you, Chakra Mama, for that. Thank you, beautiful one. Now that you guys are doing that, if people don't know what you got going on, dear one, they either trying to make up lies about you, or they're being very, very intrusive, trying to violate your boundaries. You got mofos on Google. Now they trying to, be a PI investigator, now they trying to, be on Google trying to figure out, oh, well, they say they lived in this part of the town. I just got a screenshot, they did a live video where they was walking to their favorite coffee shop, they say, where they went to go get their coffee, they frappuccino, kappa lapa, kappa toppa. Oh, let me take a screenshot. What's the name of the street? Y'all got some, some groupies out here now, okay? It's giving, celebrity. Y'all giving like celebrity vibes, okay? Y'all giving like, hey, back then, they ain't want me. Now I'm hot. They all up on me. Yeah. Y'all giving exclusive. Y'all giving like, who's that girl? Who's that guy, okay? So a lot of you guys, I'm hearing from Spirit, you are destined to be in the public eye in some way, shape, or form. But people are definitely noticing something different about you in terms of how you're moving now, okay? You're no longer an open book. You're no longer trying to be there for other people, to the detriment of yourself, okay? You're giving yourself permission to rest. You're giving yourself permission to put yourself first, okay? You're giving yourself permission to take your money and invest it in yourself, okay? Rather than giving it to somebody else, okay? And people are noticing this about you. It's a very, very beautiful thing. Yeah, come through, Spirit. And as we were just talking about anxiety, we have anxiety here, okay? A lot of you guys may have, once upon a time been suffering from anxiety. Some of you guys, you may still be suffering from it, but I'm hearing from Spirit, it's more at a manageable rate than what it used to be, okay? And for others of you guys, dear one, I'm hearing from Spirit that just based on the different changes that you guys have made and continue to make, now you guys got a lot of other people that are watching you, okay? Sitting back in the cut watching you. Now they're anxious. They're anxious, dear one, because they can't figure you out. Come through, Spirit. They're anxious because, now you're not giving them, a lot of information. So, you're not giving them ammunition to work against you, to use against you, yeah? So now, they clawing for straws in the dark, okay? Yeah, you got people anxious, dear one, because, they don't know your moves. They don't know your plans. They don't know the blessings that Spirit has in store for you. So they can't, try to run interference and block it. And this is making them very, very anxious, dear one, because I'm hearing from Spirit, come through, Spirit. Yeah. I'm hearing from Spirit, dear one, that some of you guys, you have either a person or a group of people around you. These people were like parasites, dear one. You see how this card, I don't know if y'all can see that because that's kind of light, okay? But, it looked like little worms, looked like little parasites, okay? I'm hearing from Spirit, some of you guys, you may have, been surrounded by a bunch of energy vampires, a bunch of parasites, and they got off on pushing your buttons, and they got off on you guys being so open and so loving and telling people your every move, people would think that, why are you bragging? And you're like, damn, I'm not bragging. I'm just showing you guys that I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm showing you guys how Spirit has, helped me to overcome, I'm showing you guys how I work so hard, and I just want you to celebrate with me because, I want you guys to know that if I could do it, you can do it too. But, you were around some raggedy, janky mofos, dear one, that, they didn't take it that way. They took it as a threat because they were low-key competing with you, okay? So now that, you switched up the game, okay? I'm hearing you flip the script, okay? A lot of you guys, I'm hearing from Spirit, you did a Uno reverse, okay, on that mofo, okay? And now, dear one, they're anxious because they can't figure you out. They can't figure out your moves. And you know how it is. If somebody is low vibrational and janky, dear one, and they can't figure out your moves, it's a checkmate, okay? It's over for them, okay? Because, they're not going to be able to manipulate you in some kind of way because they don't know what you're doing. They don't know, which angle you're coming from, okay? Come through, Spirit. So a lot of you guys, dear one, based on the new changes that you guys have made in your new season, your wheel of fortune, you're getting your money up, okay? I'm hearing get your weight up, okay? I'm hearing head down, money up. You guys are avoiding a lot of distractions and things of that nature, and you're making people real nervous, because there is a lot of people, dear one, they invested a lot of time and energy, and some of them, dear one, as janky as they are, some of them have invested money and trying to keep you guys down, trying to hold you back, trying to, force you to abort your destiny, or trying to, play a role in that where they could, abort your destiny themselves. Okay. People put, they put a lot of emphasis on trying to bring you down, dear one. So this definitely signals to me that you guys are someone, you're very powerful. Yeah. You're very special, because for the level of, wow, I'm hearing witchcraft come through, spirit, for the level of witchcraft and spiritual psychic attacks, gang stalking, harassment, bullying, abuse, all types of things, neglect, abandonment, okay, rejection, all of the things that you guys are going through. This would have knocked out the average person. This would have took them out. This would have wiped them out. You guys are so strong because you've already been in the belly of the beast and you've come out on the other side, and then you have the audacity to look good while you're doing it. Some of you guys, you may consider yourself, I don't know, your situation, whatever you're going through, boo, but some of you guys may consider that, hey, I'm in the belly of the beast now, Sage, but you don't look like it. Come through, spirit. You don't sound like it. Yeah, look, hair did, nails did, everything did. They don't even know, that you camping out, over a friend's house. They don't even know that, you in your vehicle. They don't know that, you going to Planet Fitness to take a shower, okay? They don't know, what you're going through, baby, because you look so good while you're doing it. Meantime, you got people, dear one, come through, spirit. This is a story for somebody. Now, I'm in your business, girl. I'm in your business, guy. And you might want to come and get a personal reading from your girl. We can really get down into it, okay? But yeah, I'm hearing from spirit, based on this, dear one, you got people so nervous because they're like, well, damn, if they're going through that and they still looking like that, they still looking good like that, they still got their spirits up, they're still hopeful, they're still grateful. Damn, we in trouble. Okay. Yeah. Somebody really underestimated you guys. They underestimated your power. They underestimated your protection. They underestimated the anointing on your life. Come through, spirit. And they're very nervous. And then some of them nervous, dear one, because they know that a lot of that janky juju that they casted against you guys, that evil eye, all of that shit is returning back to sender, and it's going to hit them right in their ass. 12 o'clock. So they know it's coming. It's coming any day now, any second now, any hour now. And the more that they see you guys elevating, this is why they get so nervous, dear one, because they know that their time is up. And it's just it's just any day now when the floor is going to drop from underneath them. Okay. Yeah, some of them are already getting those trickle down effects. Damn, what's happening with my car? Damn, why my supervisor riding my ass? Damn, why am I having so many issues with my partner or with my kids? Well, you shouldn't have been starting no shit with the collective, okay? I'm hearing don't start none, won't be none. Come through, spirit. So, they nervous, dear one, but they nervous for good reason, because, that kickback is kicking back in that ass, okay? Yeah. So, you guys, let's find a few more messages from spirit in terms of what are people noticing about you, guys? What are people, this one wanted to come out, okay? Come through, spirit. Okay, this one is in reverse, you guys. It says disruption. Let me turn it so y'all can see it, okay? It says disruption is in reverse, okay? So, dear one, I'm hearing from spirit right off the bat. People are noticing that you guys are shutting down a lot of distractions. You're no longer allowing people to push your buttons. You're no longer allowing people to disrupt your peace, okay? You guys used to go out of the way and you would be the one that people would come to, call on, lean on for money or advice, or, to talk them off the ledge. You were always there, the strong friend or the caretaker, or, the mediator whenever there was an issue. People coming to you with their drama, with their shit. Now, it ain't got nothing to do with you. You didn't start it, but they expect for you to finish it. They want you to mediate it. But now, dear one, you guys have learned how to pull your energy back and say, listen, I'm tired of being the one that's always stepping out for everybody else. And then the minute that I need help, you mofos act like you can't hear. The phone is very silent. Okay, it's crickets over here when I ask for help. So I tell you what, the next time y'all call, I'm going to see, how quickly I can say, hell no, not my business, not my problem, and for you guys to handle your own mess, since whenever I need your help, you ain't there for me, okay? So you guys are all about that reciprocity now, okay? You about that give and take, you know, like, hey, I'm not gonna be doing all of the giving and you doing all of the taking, okay? You better take your ass on and take your ass on some more, goddammit. That's what you better take, okay? But you ain't gonna be taking me for granted. Come through, spirit. And so people are noticing this about you guys, dear one. You're not allowing people to disrupt your flow. Some of you guys have developed I'm hearing new systems in place, okay? I'm hearing a lot of you guys are working on, new health regimens, okay? You guys are working on bringing more structure and balance into your life, okay? I'm hearing, more work-life balance, okay? Some of you guys are working on different things where you want to bring more, more additional streams of income into your world, okay? Because you recognizing that, hey, you need more than one. In this economy, you better have two or more, okay? So you guys are like, listen, while you trying to, call me and want to be on the phone talking to me for 2, 3, 4 hours about this mud duck you dating and you still don't want to turn his ass loose, girl, go on and just, leave me alone. I don't want to hear about that every day, 2, 3 hours a day. You're going to still go back to him and do the same old thing. That 2 hours I could be working on, my business plans, that 2 hours I could be focusing on something and trying to figure out how I'm going to bring more money up into that house, okay? That 2 hours, I could be, taking my, pup out for a walk, okay? Or doing a workout my damn self, okay? I could be cooking me, a delicious creative meal because, I've been watching these channels, these food channels, and I'm trying to step up my gourmet game, okay? Where it's healthy, but it's delicious at the same time. I'm working on myself. I'm doing new things, Nah, I could be using this hour or two to read to Junior. I ain't got time to be messing around with you. So come through, spirit. Yeah. A lot of you guys are just, cutting back on the distractions. You're picking up your phone a little bit less, okay? You're answering the door a little bit less. You're accepting those invitations to parties and things of that nature just a little bit less, because spirit has told you, listen, I got something for you, but for where I'm taking you, everybody can't go. And then also for where I'm taking you, you need to slim the fat, baby girl. You need to slim the fat, my guy. You can't be wasting time on the phone, okay? You can't be going to all them parties, okay? You got to be tardy for them parties now, okay? In other words, don't even show up. Some of you guys, you might just have to make an appearance and say, hey, what's up? How's it doing? How's it going? Okay, I'm out. Got things to do. And some of y'all, you just going to turn down the invitations and not go at all, because it's time for you guys to cut back those distractions, because you're elevating and you're changing, okay? Yeah. Some people, dear one, they got an attitude about this. They upset about this. Yeah, some of them get nervous about this, because when they don't know what you got going on and not around you, and they're not in your energy and they're not benefiting, they get nervous. Some of them like, oh, who's she giving her time and her attention to? Who is he giving his time and attention to? Hell, because it ain't me. Don't worry about all that, partner. Okay, that's my collector's business. Okay, yeah, that's for them to know and for you not to find out. Mind your business, okay? Come through, spirit. Okay? All right, y'all. So I'm going to give y'all like maybe 2 more messages, okay? 2 more messages, and then I'm going to say hi to the chat and turn it loose. And I do hope that you guys are having a very, very beautiful day, you guys, okay? So nice in my neck of the woods. I hope that it's nice in you guys, okay? Yeah, and also this is a reminder too, for those of you guys where you want to get a personal reading from your girl, all you got to do is email me at WizdomandSage@gmail.com, okay? That's WIZDOM and sage@gmail.com, and then write personal reading in the subject line, and then we gonna get it popping, okay? Yeah. All right. Also, you guys can check out the readings that I offer with the prices. The link to my website is in my bio. All right. All right. Let's see what else, dear one, the spirit want to let you guys know. What are people noticing about you? Okay, this was in reverse. It says mending. Let me show y'all the card. Very beautiful card. Okay, yeah. It's in reverse. So spirit is saying, dear one, people are noticing that you guys are no longer interested in trying to reconcile or mend relationships with people that are toxic, or mend relationships where you know that the expiration date has already already come and gone, and it is just time for that person to move on. You have moved on, dear one, and it's time for that person to move on too. Okay, so you guys are no longer interested in trying to hold together or work so hard to keep something together, where at the end of the day you need to let it go, because that thing, that relationship, that job, that situation, is not even worth you investing all of that time and that energy to hold on to it, or to mend it, or to repair it. I'm hearing from Spirit, there are certain relationships, there are certain things that, is beyond repair, okay? They said what they said. They did some foul shit, and, they can't take it back, okay? Some of them, dear one, that what they did. They went too far, okay? Ain't no coming back from that, okay? That bridge is burned, okay? So Spirit is saying a lot of you guys are now, in that season where you're like, listen, when you recognize that something is, no longer working for you, and it's a no-go, it's time to cut it loose. You're not interested in trying to, beg, borrow, plead, explain, over-explain yourself. Okay, let's go to counseling. He been, an abusive, drug addicted fool for the last 10 years. I really highly doubt it that without serious counseling, without him learning how to live on his own, stand on his own goddamn 2 feet, without using you as an enabler or as a crutch, I really doubt that year 11 is going to be any different than year 10. Okay, you just got to cut the fat. You just got to cut him loose. Okay, there ain't no sense in trying to mend that thing. Okay, that thing is gone. Yeah. Okay, yeah, a lot of you guys are in that season now. People are noticing that about you. They can't come back around and try to lure you back into another cycle, another karmic go round of bullshit. You just not about that life, okay? Listen, you done been through that with that person. You seen that. You done been through it. You got the t-shirt. You know how the story ends. There ain't no need for a round 2 or volume 2. Okay, there ain't no need for another new edition, another series. Okay, just end it right there. Just cut it. Okay, so yeah, you guys are in this season now, and a lot of people are noticing that about you guys. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys one more card. Okay, and then we're gonna end it. I'm gonna give you guys some signs too of who you or the people, dear one, that are noticing these things about you, who they could be. Okay. All right. And then the last message we have, this one was in reverse too, come through Spirit. It says, all that glitters, all that glitters is not gold. Okay, it's in reverse. Yeah. So people are noticing, dear one, again, that you guys have clarity now. You are not just believing what people say, for face value. You guys are really getting to the surface of, the intentions of a person behind the words. You guys are no longer just looking at a person for face value. Oh, they might dress the part, they may look the part, but look deeper, look closer, okay? Yeah, he's presenting himself to be a family man, that he want to be in a relationship where he got his life together, he's financially stable. Yeah, he's, flexing, and, he's showing that he got this nice house, this nice condo downtown. But, you looking closer, okay? Look closer, dear one, you're going to recognize that, it looked nice on the outside, but check it. His name ain't on the deed, okay? His name ain't on the lease, okay? A Paw name might be on it. Meemaw name might be on it. His baby mama or, her baby daddy name might be on it, but it ain't theirs, okay? So you guys are looking beyond, what's shimmery, what's shiny, okay? You're recognizing that all that glitters is certainly not gold, okay? And then on the flip side, dear one, come through Spirit, I'm hearing that someone misjudged you guys, okay? They thought that based on your appearance that, you were shallow. They thought that based on your appearance, you were mean or evil. Some of you guys, I'm hearing from Spirit, you may have that resting bitch face, but it's just because, some of you guys, you be deep in thought. Some of you guys, when you're out and about, you focus, man. You doing your thing. You ain't got time to really be, wasting a lot of time, because, your time is very valuable and you're very strategic. You on a mission. You have a vision. You just not, frolicking around, wasting time and burning gas and doing shit that really don't have no meaning at the end of the day. So I'm hearing from Spirit, dear one, that a lot of people, and particularly someone from the past, or someone that is currently watching you, dear one, that is sitting back in the cut, they're recognizing now that they had you all wrong. They had you pegged wrong. They thought that just because you're beautiful, just because you're pretty, that, you're gullible, that you're naive. Oh, honey, they had to find out the hard way that that is not so. They thought that just because, you're quiet and shy, that meant that, you was boo-boo the fool and you could get played, okay? And that, they would have you wrapped around their little finger. And, they thought that they can come in and love bomb you, and that, they would have you right where they wanted you and come in and out of your life like a revolving door. And, they got you, they put it on you, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going to leave. Yeah, they got it all wrong, dear one. So I'm hearing from Spirit, dear one. There is someone that, is really, really looking at you, and then having to do a lot of self-reflection and say, damn, I really judged collective all wrong. I got to go back to the drawing board. You guys have been a lesson to someone to teach them that, you really need to teach people. You really have been treating people how to teach you. Okay. People have learned that in a very harsh type of way. They've gotten karma from based on the way they treated you, based on the way they've judged you. For some of them, dear one, based on, some of the things that they said about you. I'm hearing like gossip, smear campaigning, some people are trying to get clout off your name. Some people, just judging you based on your physical aesthetics, your appearance, okay? Not recognizing, dear one, that there is more to you than meets the eye, honey. You're like an onion. And, people got to take the time with you to get to know you. They got to peel off those layers, okay? Yeah, what you see is not necessarily what you get, okay? You're deeper than that, okay? You're complex, you're dynamic, you're unique, okay? You ain't no one-trick pony, okay? You might show up one way one day, and then you're a whole totally different aspect or dynamic of yourself the next day. People try to judge you and perceive you, but they always come up short because you're constantly changing, you're constantly evolving, okay? So there is someone, dear one, and a lot of people are noticing that you like to switch it up on them, that is more to you than meets the eye, that they better not judge you and get it twisted and think that just because you nice, you a pushover, that just because you're empathic, you're going to allow someone to run over you. Because, someone come at you with that bullshit, you're going to return their ass back to sender. Come through, Spirit. Yeah. People have learned that now, dear one. Okay. And you got a lot of people talking about that about you as well. Okay. Yeah. So, dear one, in a nutshell, yeah, that is the tea, you guys, okay? I'm going to give you guys some signs, okay? And then I'm going to read the chat, all right? So, let's see what we're working with. Let's see. Thank you, Spirit. For those of you guys where this message most resonates, you or these people who are noticing these things about you or they, dear one, can very well be a Taurus, Pisces, Gemini, Cancer, Aries, Leo, Libra, and Virgo. Thank you, Spirit. I'm also hearing Scorpio moon, Sagittarius rising, Aqua rising, Virgo moon, Libra moon, a lot of moons, and Scorpio moon. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. These are a lot of secret feelings. There are a lot of feelings and things people are noticing about you that they may not be verbalizing to other people, but they're definitely noticing, and they're definitely, keeping it in the back of their mind like, I'm noticing this about collective, okay? So there's a lot of moans. A lot of people are talking about you guys, on the low, and a lot of people are thinking these things about you, making mental notes, although they may not discuss it with other people, okay? So that's what Spirit wanted me to let you guys know, okay? All right. So now, y'all, let me turn my head and look at the chat, and let's see what we got going on here, okay? So, Cherry X8G says, personal chat. No, dear one, this was more like this was a collective general reading, okay, on the topic of what are people noticing about you, okay. Alona Molejon, or is it Alona Molejon, something like that. I hope I didn't butcher your name too much, okay, dear one, but says hello. So hi, how are you? Okay. And then you ask, do you answer questions? Thank you. I'm getting to the point where I will in the near future, okay, because I recognize that I do have a lot of supporters who are international. And for those that, want to get a personal reading, but they cannot because I'm only working with U.S. customers, I might open up the chat on certain occasions where if I have some of my international international supporters, if they have a personal question, I would answer that for them. But I'm still kind of trying to work out the kinks of that, because I really want to make sure that I'm being fair to my paying customers, okay? But at the same time, I also want my international supporters to feel included as well, okay? And I do a lot of paying things forward, okay? So I don't have no issue with that, okay? Because girl is blessed, so I give back. I also have a blog site, One Wise Sage, at www.onewisesage.com, where I have a whole bunch of good stuff over there for you guys. I give free readings over there. I try to stay up to par and give you guys at least one video, tarot, a channel message video on the weekend. Give you a nice little weekend video or whatever. Okay, then we got a lot of cool stuff over there, like numerology, card of the day. It's kind of like X and Instagram and YouTube all in one. Okay, and it's free. Okay, you don't have to pay to join. Okay, it's incognito. You go and watch it whenever you get ready. You ain't got to worry about no trolls. It's troll free. It's ad free. You can go over there, no commercials, okay? And it's also censor free. So sometimes, I might get a little spicy over there. I might get a little saucy over there, in a way that, YouTube it may not appreciate. So, I encourage you guys to go on over there and check it out, okay? I give lots of free readings and things of that nature over there. But the long way answer to your question, dear one, is that yes, not now, but in the future, I will be answering questions, okay? Something that I used to do earlier ago, not too long ago, maybe like 4, 5, 6 months ago, is that I would select one person after the read in the chat. And if they had a question, I would give them a free yes or no oracle question, like no cards, just me channeling the answers and what I'm hearing from spirit, okay? Because I'm a deep, hardcore channeler medium. If you guys haven't picked up on that already, your girl don't really need these cards, okay? I just use the cards for, your visual pleasure, for you to focus on while I give you the read, okay? But I might start doing that. So if you guys are interested in that, where, another way for me to show my love and appreciation to you guys, and for those of you guys particularly who are international, you may not have an opportunity to get a reading. If you guys would like for me to bring back yes or no oracle questions, where I would choose one particular person from the chat and answer your question, like a yes no oracle question. If you guys would like that, type yes in the chat for me, okay? And then I can start incorporating that for you guys, okay? Yeah. So let me see, what else do we have here? Life to Hope, beautiful name, by the way. Life to Hope says, my daughter said I was glowing today. Okay, beautiful. Yes. So, people can begin to recognize, dear one, when your vibration is raising, from, you focusing more on gratitude, you putting yourself first, managing your stress levels, your cortisol levels, okay? Maybe eating a little bit more healthier, getting more exercise, more movement, throughout the day. That definitely shows on your body. There's a glow. There's a certain essence when you do that and raise your vibration. People can certainly see that, okay? People can feel it too. That's why you start to have a lot of people that want to be around you. You have a lot of people that want to call you. They just want to be up in your energy because they're feeling the glow. They're seeing the glow, okay? So that means you're on the right track, Life to Hope. But make sure that you continue to guard your energy, because high vibrational people, we tend to attract a lot of mud ducks now. Whether you're single, whether you're married, or whether you got a boo or a bae, yeah, we still got to fend them off now. We attract a lot of moths too, butterflies, but also moths. They're attracted to the flame as well. So make sure that you're always protecting your energy, okay, sweetheart? And then Paula's Psyche, I think that's right, Paula's Psyche sent a star for 2 jewels. Thank you. Beautiful one. Thank you so much for that. And then you said it's okay to rest. Absolutely. Absolutely, it's okay to rest. It's more than okay. I would say it's required. It's paramount. It's crucial for you, particularly if you are a son or daughter of the light, okay? Because we tend to transmute so much energy from other people and also energy from ourselves and the energy around us. that takes a lot of energy. And you know, we think it's easy because it's naturally a part of what we do, is naturally how we are wired. But then we oftentimes forget why we're so tired. You know, a lot of us, when we dream, when we go to sleep at night, we're astral traveling. You know, we slaying demons and shit. We wake up like, damn, I'm tired. Yeah, you tired, honey. You was in a battle. Okay, you was at war. Okay, yeah. So it's definitely paramount to get a lot of rest, okay? And anybody that's around you, dear one, if they can't accept that or acknowledge that or give you your time, give you your space to kind of get grounded and recalibrate, okay? Because most high vibrational beings, you know, we get our energy from being alone or being in nature, okay? You know, we even got to tell our hubbies, you know, go play golf, boo. Give me an hour, give me 2 hours to myself, okay? Or, you know, people that love you and around you, they know that you need a lot of downtime, okay? So if you got people that they don't respect that and they're constantly trying to challenge that or, you know, trample on your boundaries, then, you know, that's a sign that you really need to reevaluate that person and see how important it is for them to be in your life. Because if they for you, they're going to understand that you're different. You require different things. You need different things, and you need to have people on the same page with you that's working with you and not against you. Okay, so yeah, beautiful comment. Chakra Mama 73 sent sparkles for 2 jewels. Thank you so much, Chakra Mama. I appreciate that so much. Okay. And then Life to Hope says confirmation. Thank you so much. You're very, very welcome, dear one. You are very welcome. I love the name by the name. That is awesome. Very dynamic name. Okay. And then I think it's J. Robinson says hello. Hey, what's up now? What it do? How's it going with you in your neck of the woods? Okay, I hope that you're doing well. Okay, Delinda Moore says hi. What's up, Delinda? How are you, sweetheart? Sasette, I think it's Sasette through Saba. Okay, very interesting name. Says hello. Hello to you. How are you doing? Okay. And then Erica Small says hello. What up, Erica? James Goodman says, hey, what's up, James? What it do, bro? He says, hi, Sage. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. You are very welcome, sir. And then Maxie Marissa says, hi. Hello, Maxie Marissa. How are you, love? Okay. And then Michael Ellis Sr. I know that's right. Put the senior on that thing. Okay. Listen, we got to show that royalty. We got to show that lineage there. I know that's right. Put the senior on there, sir. Sending love and light. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay. Appreciate it. Also appreciate you guys who are sending the loves. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm sending love right back to you. Okay. Also, I just saw out of the corner of my eyes, whoever just sent that like, thank you guys so much. Okay. So yeah, you guys, that is the tea for you guys. Okay. That's the tea that you need to set you free. Okay. That's a little bit to get you guys, you know, nourished for the day in terms of that spiritual tea. Okay. And you know, until I come back next time, you know, we'll see how it goes, y'all. You know, we hoping that YouTube be get it together now. They got my doggone dashboard, my YouTube studio, all types of jacked up. Okay, you know, got my videos disappearing and carrying on. I just don't know. YouTube don't want me to be great. Can I be great, YouTube? Can I be great? Damn. Okay. All right, you guys. But I'm going to turn it loose, y'all. So I hope that you guys have a very, very beautiful day. Okay. Very beautiful day, morning, evening, noon, whatever time that it is in your neck of the woods. Yeah. And until next time, you guys, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and stay great. Peace.